So let's face it, Konami's running out of ideas. GIZMEK and Sushi. And also a little blurb, Firecracken was the first fire aqua type monster. FYI, the TCG GIZMEK names are pretty imaginative compared to the Japanese names, so we may or may not fluff up their names later. So first off, we have GIZMEK Inaba, or GIZMEK Rabbit. It is a wind machined effect, level 1 with a 50-50 for attack and defense. You can only use the second effect once per turn. When this card is normal summon, you could special summon one machine monster from your hand whose attack equals its own defense in defense position. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one machine monster you control whose attack equals its own defense. For the rest of its turn, you cannot declare attacks except with that monster. Also, its attack and defense become the total original attack of all machine monsters you currently control whose attack equals their own defense. This is very interesting of a card for being a level 1. It is a good normal summon, but also it just flat out does game. This is going to be an interesting deck. GIZMEK Nagakai. It is a light machine with 950, and it's the level 2. You can only use this card's name first and second effect once per turn each. You can tribute one machine monster whose attack equals its own defense, special summon one machine monster from your deck whose attack equals its own defense, but with a lower level than the tributed monster. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one of your face down banished machine monsters whose attack equals its own defense to your hand. This is actually very good. Let's say you tribute off itself, and you could instantly summon out cards like Morphotronic Cellphine, Spiral Gear Drone, Cyber Dragon Hers, and Naster, Card Trooper, Despot, all of them, Heavy Mech Support Armor, Vylon Cube, Planetary Pathfinder, Ancient Gear Hunting Hound, Yellow Gadget Crystron, Thelverster, or Thystevern, Duza the Cubic Meteor Vessel, Drillroid, Inspector Border, World A Legacy World Crown, and a few other cards. And next we have GIZMEK Taniguku. It is a Earth Machine level 3. This is probably GIZMEK Frog, but it's not going to be Frog to exclude itself from frogs, or it could be a toad. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can place one machine monster from your deck whose attack equals its own defense on top of your deck. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one machine monster in your graveyard whose attack equals its own defense, special summon in defense position. A Monster Reborn type card. That is actually very good. Okay, 1450. Next one, we have GIZMEK Ibuku, or Boar. It is a level 4 water, 1850. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn each. If you control a machine monster whose attack equals its own defense, special summon this card from your hand. Holy Batman Extenders. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one monster you control whose attack equals its own defense. Send one machine monster whose attack equals its own defense. Holy moly. With a lower level than the target from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, that target gains attack defense equal to the sent monster's level times 100. So this is a nightmare, Orcus Nightmare for GIZMEK. Also, take a shot every time you hear attack equals its own defense, because at this point you're going to be flat out wasted. And then we have the field spell being GIZMEK Legend Kamitsuka Washimi no Kaiki. It is a field spell. You can use the first effect of once per turn. Very, very interesting. During your main phase, you can activate the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you do, add one activated machine monster whose attack equals its own defense to your hand. Also, banish the rest face down. I would rather just run either Prosperity or Extrav over that. I would never use that. Each time a machine monster attack who equals you place a counter on this card. Okay. Monsters on the field whose attack does not equal its own defense cannot activate their effects while this card has 10 or more count. Counters to lock out effects. Okay, Konami. No, what else could go wrong? I mean, we have Sushis. We have Rice Suship, which is a normal fire aqua. 2,000 attack, 0 defense. You could rescue Rabbit it out. Next, we have Rose Suship, which is a fire aqua. Okay, this whole thing is fire aqua. Okay. 200 attack and 300 defense for a level 4. Okay, that's mediocre. You can only special summon the way of this card's name once per turn. Okay. So you can only use the first effect once per turn, and you can only special summon it that way once per turn. You can only use this card's name second effect once per turn. If you control a Rice Suship, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay. During your main phase, you could excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you do, add to your hand or special summon 1 excavated Rice Suship. Also shuffle the rest into the deck. So this whole deck is going to be based around this. After this, we have Dreadnought Suship Roy class first Wardish. It is a fire aqua. Okay. XYZ, 2200 attack, 300 defense, 2 level 4 monsters. Okay, it's very generic. You can only use the first effect once per turn. If this card is XYZ summoned, you can apply this effect based on the monsters used as a material. Rice Suship, draw 1. Rose Suship, this card can make a second attack during each battle phase. So it's you draw 1 and you get 2 attacks. And the second effect, once per turn, when your Suship monster is special summoned from the extra deck, inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target one card they control, destroy it. That's interesting. I mean, okay, you're gonna attack and destroy something no matter what. Then we have Suship Galley Kaizen. It's a field spell. Once per turn, if you normal summon or special summon a Suship monster during the damage, except even during the damage step. Ooh, that's different. You can place 1 Suship card from your deck to... Why are we placing cards on the top of the deck, Konami? Konami, why are we placing cards on the top of the deck, not adding them? Once per turn, if your Suship monster special summon from the extra deck is sent to the graveyard by opponent's card, by battle or by card effect, your opponent must pay life points equal to its defense. Then you can special summon 1 Rice Suship from your hand. If you do, immediately after this card resolves, XYZ summon 1 Suship monster, only using that monster as material. Whoa. Okay, so this is the important card. If you can banish all 3, this deck is dead. And then we have Rice Suship Special, or Kamagur Gunkan Nagiri. It is a normal trap. When you activate this card, you can also reveal 1 Rice Suship in your hand. Reveal 3 Suship monsters from your deck. Your opponent picks 1 for you to add to your hand. Also, shuffle the rest back into the deck. If you reveal a Rice Suship when you activate this card, you could choose instead. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn that it was sent there, you can banish this card, then target 3 Suship monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them back into the deck, then draw 1. So, this card, okay, you get to, if you reveal the main card in the deck, you get to choose. And this is just like Pot of Avarice with the ruling, you have to target the 3, and if one of the targets gets banished, it fizzles out. So, this deck, it has, I don't know. This is, it's just making me hungry. Just make me like, oh, rice. Okay, caviar, cool. Would you like some cucumber with that? And look at this. It has every ingredient that there is. Like, this archetype is more food than anything. But I want to hear your guys' opinions on this. The GIZMEK support is interesting, but the sushi stuff, they do have a couple great cards, but the rest aren't that interesting. But anyways, See you guys in the next video.